Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another plan with me. This is for the week of June something through the 22nd. I don't actually remember. 17th? Is that right? Probably not. I am fucking exhausted, so this is going to be a wild ride. I don't know when I'm going to film day by day, but I am going to do the base today at least, and then maybe the boxes. I'm also going to pull stickers, but it has been an exhausting, 2 weeks at this point. Yeah, it's literally Sunday, so it's been a week since this week ended. It doesn't feel like a week. Anywho, I'm using Always You by Bonnie Bear Plans. It is a wedding kit because I did fly back to New York for a wedding. I literally just told my son to be quiet and he's not being quiet. This is a mini kit though, and I really hope that it works. I'll figure it out. If it doesn't, I do have little things and stuff, extra little things, so I'm sure I can find something to match. But I am pulling in this Avery Q3. It was for Black Friday, I think. There was a special preview, but it's a dark red. And then this is a dusty pinky red. Q1. So, pulling them in. And then I'm using this Cupid foil bundle from Caress Press, and it is in the pink rose gold. I do wish it was more actual rose gold, but I'm just using what I got, so I felt like it went because it's pink, or love themed, I mean. So, yeah. With that being said, I'm going to lay down the base in the boxes, and then I will see you in the day by day.
We shared the pieces of ourselves, it's perfect timing now. We fueled the flames, but we're still learning to trust, It's never enough, never enough. Burning me up, burning me up. Don't fight the fire, too much too fast, will burn us out. We walk the wire, love. Don't make me read your mind, I know it. Learning to trust. It's never enough, never enough. Burning me up, burning me up. I won't fall when I'm picking you up. With my hand, I won't be strong enough. Our love is stronger, and I'll be here. My lead, now we're taking the jump. My pride, cause I know you're the one. Our love is stronger. Baby, I know that it's stronger than yesterday. Two sparks ignited. We left some space for us to breathe. My head is quiet now. I can rest in peace, cause you are more than enough, more than enough. Feeling the rush, burning in love, burning in love. Two souls united. This roaring blaze is soaring free. If you ever get tired, love, I'll sing you gently to sleep, cause you're still more than enough, more than enough. Feeling the rush, burning in love, burning in love. I won't fall when I'm picking you up. Of my hand, I won't be strong enough. Our love is stronger, and I'll be here. My lead, now we're taking the jump. My pride, cause I know you're the one. Our love is stronger. Baby, I know that it's stronger than yesterday.
day by day, I have stickers stuck up here, so I'm just throwing them off. But I apologize for the lighting if it's crappy, because it's just like natural lighting. So, whatever, it's by my window. I just did not feel like setting up my whole little light tripod. But I'm putting June up here in the corner. It is the July font of the month that I use this week. And then for the sidebar, I have this little passport. I don't have a passport. I actually have an enhanced license. You know how you need like a real ID or a passport to fly if you live in like the 4 states, it might be 5, that offer enhanced IDs that works the same, and you can get to Canada like by car and Mexico. But I live like, it's only northern states that offer it, like Washington, Minnesota, New York, Maine, maybe. There's just like a few. So if you did not know, that works as a real ID. It's my education lesson. I don't know. Anyhow, I did put off to New York for Nicole's wedding because I did go to New York. Actually, I'm going to take out like my hobo because I have everything marked in there versus like just some things marked here. So I'm just going to set it up over on the side so that I can actually see what I did. I feel like it gets more interesting towards like the end of the week, actually, not like the beginning, because the beginning I'm still in Minnesota, but I do fly to New York. Anywho, on Monday, the first thing I marked is that I got ready because I did have to work. I worked 2 days this week. They don't normally have swings on Monday, so I was a swing, which means basically I worked a double. But I did get ready for work, and that is from Winter Designs. I think she might be coming back soon. And then I did pack. And then I did work at Buffalo Wild Wings till 11:30 to 9, which obviously was a swing. I also was on Expo this day. If you work in the restaurant industry, you know what Expo is. I'm not going to explain it, but it's not something that like everybody does. And I basically learned it by watching people. So I was on Expo for like an hour and a half by myself, which was pretty cool. There's people that I was working with that had worked there longer than I have, and they did not know how to expo anything. One girl was like, oh, let me try. So I let her try, and I was just done with it already. Like the first order that came up. So worked Buffalo Wild Wings. I did talk to the general manager about, cross-training to be a server, and actually yesterday in real time he pulled me into the back and like asked me something else. I don't really want to jinx it or anything, but maybe later on you'll find out what that is. But that is from Paper and Milk. And then while I was at work, oh my god, freaking tornado. It was like I'll like pop up a picture. Actually, Joe got a picture of a tornado from our apartment. It was in North Mankato. We live in Mankato, and it's scary. I mean, it's not as scary as like the North Dakota ones that just happened recently. Those were like really scary. This one I don't think did any damage or anything, but the fact that we like got a picture of it was crazy. I also saw rotation while I was at work. Everybody's phones went off for the tornado alarm, like the tornado warning in the restaurant. So it was like, it was pretty crazy. Also 90% of the people I work with learned that I'm not a Midwest girly, born and raised. Like, I'm a New York girly, where if we get tornado warnings, we don't have sirens. The sirens went off 3 times while I was at work, because it's like in our county, but it was never like for strictly us, I guess. Literally I left work and the tornado siren was going off, but it was like the east, like the southeast corner of our county, and we're in like the north part of the county. However, it was scary. Also not the last time it happened. I came home from New York and we had another tornado warning. It was east of us towards like a different city, but like still scary. But that storm icons from my shop. And then for the Handmaid's Tale, I've just been like trying to use up my couple stickers, so that literally makes no sense for the Handmaid's Tale, but I used it because I wanted to use it up. That's from Whimsy. And then on Tuesday, the first thing I marked is that I slept in, which probably means I literally just slept until 9. I did shop work, like orders. That's for my shop. That's for my shop. I got ready. That's from Leonard Designs. And then I worked 4:30 to 8, which was a short shift. Usually my shifts aren't that short when I work at night. They have been, I don't know. It's like hit or miss. I think yesterday in real time was like the first time that I actually got out at the time that like my schedule says. Because again, if you work in the restaurant industry, your cut time is different from like your scheduled time. It's on business needs, so. But I did work 4:30 to 8, and then I read November 9th. When I got home, I finished that book like way too late. Like it took me like 3 weeks to fucking finish this book. I have not had time to read lately, but we did watch The Handmaid's Tale. I went too far up. And then on Wednesday, this was actually the day, like, I had this day off before going to New York. I purposely took it off so that I could spend time with kids, family, get everything ready. So I should have taken the Tuesday after I got home off. Hindsight is 2020, but yeah. So I watched Real Housewives of Atlanta. I did do a self-tan, like I self-tanned to get myself ready for the wedding. I did work on orders. I think I did all open orders this day, so they were all gone, like out before I went to New York. And then I did watch The Valley. I also painted my nails and toes, like my fingers and toes, I should have said. These both are from my shop. And then we did barbecue. We had like chicken skewers with bacon, like bacon wrapped chicken skewers. And then I did mark finish packing. I did also watch The Handmaid's Tale, but I think I forgot to make the script for it and went to bed early. I do think in my off-camera planner, I did mark both those things, so this was like a 9-thing day instead of just a 7, but that's okay because I used up a lot of this kit. So on Thursday, the first thing I marked was that it was Juneteenth, and I used that for my pride kit, or my pride sheet. Oh, speaking of which, I do have to donate. I didn't get many sales on it. It's probably literally like $15, but that's okay. I'll still donate 100% to the Trevor Project like I do every year. I didn't do any special things this year. I'm just so burnt out. Like, it's a lot. So I decided to just put up my pride sheets. It's literally July right now, July 1st, and I didn't take them down. So I will do that after and also donate after, but I did get 3 hours of sleep this day. I went to bed. I probably went to bed around 10, so it wasn't really that early. I ended up waking up, so I had to be up at 3. I ended up waking up at 1:15. and I could not fall back asleep. And also, like, I don't know if you've ever, like, had to be awake for something that you absolutely could not sleep in for. It's really hard to fall back asleep because, like, especially me, if I wake up and I feel like I'm okay to get up, if I fall back asleep, I will sleep hard. So I was up at 1:15, stayed up the whole night, or the whole day. I literally got up, finalized, like, the things I needed. I got ready. I was planning on doing my makeup in the car, but it was like 3 a.m. We have to drive an hour and a half almost to the airport. It's really like an hour and 20 minutes, but we had to drive that at 3 a.m. for me to get to the airport. My flight left at 6:30, so I think I got there around like 5 o'clock. But we did drive to the airport. I was okay. Honestly, it was fine. Like, I was tired, but I had Red Bull on the way there. I probably didn't even finish it. I also had Red Bull at Nicole's when I got to her house. I drank a lot. Like, I drank every single freaking day that I was in New York, which is crazy. I don't drink that much, but also, like, I wasn't hungover ever. So, like, maybe it was spaced out enough. I don't know. Maybe I was delirious enough that, like, I didn't actually get drunk. I have no idea. But I, had next to no sleep that day. Got to the airport, sat at my gate for hours. Also, this is the second time I've ever flown anywhere, technically. Like, I've been on 4 airplanes before this. But it was, like, to Disney and back, and there was a layover each time. This time, it was direct flight. Also, flying alone. So, like, when I got to, like, MSP, I was nervous as shit. I've never been in this airport ever. It was weird, I guess, like, trying to figure out where to go. I went to, like, TSA. The TSA line was so fucking long. It was almost to the parking garage. But it took, like, 20 minutes to get through the line. It really wasn't that bad. And then I found my gate and sat. Like, it told me my gate at Syracuse when I flew back, because I'm not doing a plan with me for that. It didn't tell me my gate until I got to the airport. I had to, like, look on a board, and I went to, like, the opposite side's terminals, and then had to walk all the way across the place and go into that terminal. However, MSP does have 2 terminals, and they're not connected. Like, Syracuse is a smaller airport, so the terminals are connected. MSP, like, the terminal, I think it was in Terminal 2, which is the smaller one of the 2, is, like, actually in St. Paul, and then the other one's in Minneapolis. I don't know, but that one was actually easier to navigate than Syracuse. So, whatever. Anyway, long story long, I did fly MSP to Syracuse. Also, on my flight there, I had the window seat. I got to select my seats. I did, like, the upgraded, like, super upgraded, so I got a free drink. I don't think I marked it on this flight, like, on this one. I got a free drink with my seat, so I got a Pinot Grigio. Also was in a window seat. I love window seats. I love seeing the sky and, like, the floor, like, the stuff below, especially landing in Syracuse. We went over, like, where we used to live, so, like, I saw, like, the kids' old school and stuff. It was pretty cool. I think I have a picture of it. But on the way there, I had one guy in the row with me. He was, like, on the aisle seat, and he was, like, asking me if I live here, like, in Syracuse. And I was like, I'm from Syracuse. I live in Minnesota now. And he was there for, like, a family reunion, and he asked me about breweries, and I don't know why Middle Ages didn't come to mind, but, like, obviously I would have told him about that. Anyway, I'm gonna talk so long that like the freaking sun goes down. Anywho, I did read The Perfect Divorce, or started The Perfect Divorce on my Kindle on the plane. So this plane, and this is from my shop. And then my sister did pick me up from the airport, which was like a lot of anxiety for her, because I'm sure it's like the same at every airport. You can't just like pull up and park. You have to like wait somewhere and then pull up when your person's outside. TSA will yell at you. I don't know if it's TSA. Airport security will yell at you if you're parked there. So she had to like go find a lot and sit in it until I got out. So then I just literally like stood around for a little bit until she got me. But we did go to Angry Garlic because that is one of my favorite local places. We had some drinks and ate. And then she dropped me off at Nicole's. And then we just like hung out when I got to Nicole's. I literally haven't seen Nicole in like 5 years at this point. Probably like 5.5. So, but it was like not weird. She's literally been like my best friend since I was 10. So like 23 years. But we did get Gino and Joe's for dinner. That's from Nightingale Paper Co. And then I did paint her daughter's nails and toes. This is from my shop. Oh, I put that on crooked. That's fine. It's funny because everybody's kids act a certain way around like their parents. And when Hazel gets her nails painted, she's always itchy. But I like held her hands. I was like, you're not moving your hands until they're dry. And she's like, but I'm so itchy. And I'm like, where are you itchy? I will itch it. So definitely was an itch bitch for a minute. But then I did FaceTime the kids and Joe and cried. We also went to bed like really early. I think it was like 10, but that's fine because I traveled in time. And I mean, like my time, it was 9 o'clock, but I only got like 3 hours of sleep, so it was fine. But I did FaceTime my kids and cried because I miss them. I'm never away from my kids. So it was a little hard at first, at least. That's from Nightingale Paper Co. And then on Friday, I marked sleeping in because I literally slept for like 12 hours. Oh, also her kid, she's got 4 cats. One cat was not integrated. It was like a rescue from like an engine. It was literally written into like their vows. Not really their vows, their officiate told a story, and that was part of like why Nicole loved Frank. So they have 4 cats, and one went to somebody to watch it so like they could go on their honeymoon and stuff. But one of their cats slept with me that night, and I love that. However, yeah, Friday I slept in. And then I realized that rehearsal dinner was on Friday. I didn't bring a lot of makeup, like any good makeup, because Saturday I was getting my makeup done and I forgot about rehearsal dinner. So I'm like, you know what, let me place a Target order. I will go, like, I'm borrowing Nicole's car, go pick it up. I know where I'm going. I literally told my sister how to get to freaking Target so I could pee after the airport, and then how to get to Angry Garlic, even though I haven't been in New York in a year and a half, but I knew the way. So I placed an order for like a bunch of makeup. So I went and did that. This Target bag's from my shop. Also, I forgot that the Target, like, that New York has a plastic bag ban. So when I was given like paper bags, I was kind of like catapulted into a new universe because Minnesota still got plastic bags. It was weird. Anywho, after I got the makeup, we like got ready to leave for the hotel. We went to the hotel. It was like 45 minutes away from her house. So we checked into the hotel when we got there, obviously. I had my own room, which was nice and weird. Like, I've never stayed in a hotel by myself either. I was like a super adult this weekend. I did not like it. But the hotel icon is from my shop. And then I did get glam. Did all of the makeup because I bought all of the makeup. And that is from my shop. And then Nicole had press-on nails. And I know my nails look like shit right now. There's no nails on them. But, like, I've been doing them for, like, a year and a half straight. So I was like, I can do your nails. I know how to do them. We probably had, like, 20 minutes until we had to leave. And I was like, all right, let's do this. So I did them in 10 minutes. I matched them up, prepped her nails, made her wash her hands, did the little alcohol swab thing, glued them on. And they stayed on for at least a week. I know, like, this past Friday, she sent me a picture of them and was like, they're still on. So, I'm a nail pro. But this press-on nail icon is from my shop. And then we did the rehearsal dinner. Also, this is when I found out that I was the first one walking down the aisle. We did not walk to them with groomsmen, so I was literally alone. Also, I had to walk like a freaking mile alone. I'm sure I look horrible in photos. I don't photograph well. It was humiliating. Anyway, I was the first one out. It would have been better if it was like the aisle that we made at the rehearsal dinner because it wasn't at the same venue. Instead, it was like around a patio, down through grass. Like, it was so long. But I did it. And this little archway is from my shop. Also, there's tacos for rehearsal dinner. And then she gave us bridesmaid gifts, which had like our pajamas and stuff in it. And bookmarks. All of the they were in tote bags. They were all like book themed, but like to us. And mine's like a skull tarot card. Like, that's so me. Anywho, after the rehearsal dinner, we had drinks with Carrie and Tyler. Carrie actually was like one of my friends in 4th grade. I actually knew Carrie before I knew Nicole. And like, I was her first sleepover. So there was that. And then her boyfriend Tyler was there. He bought us drinks. But we sat at like, they had like a little patio outside at the hotel, and they also had a bar. I've never been to a hotel I've never been to like a Hampton Inn that had a bar. Or maybe I just never realized they had bars. Anywho, they had like a patio with fire pits, so we went out there. There was also two other weddings and a bar mitzvah going on that people were booking that hotel for. And somebody like came over and congratulated Nicole on getting married, and she was so drunk, and we were just like, this is so awkward, can you please go away? It was wonderful. Anywho, that's from Paper and Milk. And then on Saturday, which was wedding day, Nicole was not delegating anything to us. We were like, how can we help? And she's like, I don't know. And then she like got stressed out. I was in my room. I don't know. I think I was like painting my nails because they were messed up. She texted me, help me, or I need help. And I was like on my way. So I helped her daughter take a shower. Because Hazel trusted me with that. She knows I have kids. But that's from my shop. And then I did get my hair done. I think I was second for hair, second for makeup. So that's from Once More with Love. I did get my makeup done. I've also realized that's from my shop. I never know what to ask for makeup. I never know. I've literally gotten my makeup done that I chose once. So I asked for, I don't know, I was like going for eyeshadow thinking that she would know how to like do my makeup, because I do my makeup the same way whenever I do my makeup. I did not love my makeup, but that's like not her fault. It's more so mine. I didn't know, like, I don't know what to ask for because I know how to do my makeup. I guess it's like the issue. If I did, like, I knew what to ask for my hair because I don't know how to do my hair. But my makeup was tricky. So my face looked like really flat almost because she didn't like contour my nose at all. Also she put like black under my eyes, and I never do that because it makes my eyes look small. So that was my fault. But once I started like sweating it off, it was almost okay. I'm sure I'm gonna look at the photos that Nicole gets back from like the photographer and like hate myself, but it is what it is. But we did have mimosas during getting ready. And then we did go to the venue and do wedding photos. It was so funny. We did, like, Nicole did the first look with Frank. And I have a video of it, like, from, we were inside the venue. And they were out by, like, the arch where they were getting married. We did this all before the ceremony. I think for Nicole, she wanted to get it all done because it was, like, too much anxiety to have it all done at once. So she went out. He turns around, and I have a video, and her cousin's like, he's wearing sunglasses. So that part sucked, but he still cried. Hopefully there's good photos of that, even though he's wearing sunglasses. But we did do photos. And then they got married. The whole ceremony thing. I walked down first and all of that. And then we, like, you know, did dinner. Oh, we did, like, appetizers, which was, like, a big charcuterie board. And then dinner and dessert. And then we all just, like, danced. She had, like, a throwback type vibe going on. I did want to cry during one of them. It was, like, Nicole and Frank were dancing to their first song or whatever, and then he invited, like, everybody else up to the, like, every couple to the floor, and I wanted to cry because I was all alone. But that is from Corks and CORKSCO, and I do PR for Laurel, so you can use Carlea15 to save. And then we did get back to the hotel around, I think it ended at 10, so we took a shuttle back. So around 10 o'clock, which is 9 o'clock my time now, we got back. I went into the room. I had to struggle to get my dress off myself because I had like a whole little hook in the back and unzipping it. But I did FaceTime the kids during that, to say goodnight and all of that. And then there was like an after party in room 205. But everybody just kept yelling room 205. Like, are you going to room 205? But it was just room 205. So that's how I marked it. That beer's from Fox and Cactus. And then some shit that should not happen on your daughter's wedding night fucking happened. So we dealt with that for fucking hours. I think it was like 3 hours, 4 hours maybe. And then I called Joe after I got back to the room at like, it was like 2 something when I finally got back to the room. And then I was probably falling asleep on like FaceTime with him because I was so fucking tired. But that's for my shop. And then I did go to bed after 3 a.m. So that was wedding day. And then Sunday, the first thing I marked is that I got 4 hours of sleep. Nicole and Frank also napped after we got back. We had like, well, I had like 2 hours of time to waste after a while, but I did wake up around 7. Also, there was like a tornado in New York that night. the hotel and the venue actually lost power, but they were running on generators when we left. We did have to go back to the venue to pick up all of the wedding crap that they brought the day before. After we got out of the hotel, and there was just like branches everywhere. Like, it was a bad storm, and I literally slept through it. However, after I woke up and like, I think I showered and whatever, I went to Nicole's room, and then Nicole was trying to wake up her cousin, which is room 205. And we went over there after she finally woke up at like 10 a.m. Checkout's at 11. Finally went over there and helped clean up that room. Because we're not the type of people that just leave messes. We like put it all in garbage bags, easy to remove. And then we checked out, you know, on time. And then after we got back, we got Panera. That's from my shop. That's from my shop. That's from Sticky Parks. And then for those like 2 hours that I had with nothing to do, I FaceTime Joe. Or maybe it was just on the phone with him. I don't know. I was probably charging my phone too. Because my phone battery was like shit in New York. And then I borrowed Nicole's car again. And that's from the Coffee Monsters Co. That's from my shop. I met up with my aunt, my grandma, and then my two cousins. One of my cousins' 3 kids and her husband. And had dinner with them, which was nice. Like, I'm, you know, glad some family cares about me. Because then I was feeling, I don't know, hopeful. Oh, we went to Copper Top, which is another one of my favorite local places. However, I was feeling hopeful, so I went to see, my Aunt Missy lives with my mom, and I wanted to see my Aunt Missy because I worry. But, you know, I thought that if I saw my mom, she would be like, how are the kids? I miss them. Like, civil. Because everybody's always like, oh, she misses them so much and all of this bullshit. Which now I know is actual bullshit because I show up at her house and she starts fucking screaming at me. So, if you ever wonder why I left New York, that is exactly why. Because I'm the issue, but she's fine. Even though I showed up when I was in town and she decided to start screaming at me. I basically hugged my aunt and was like, I'm sorry, and left. So, done with Stephanie. If you did not know, my mom's name is Stephanie and her name is not capitalized for a reason. And then I go back to Nicole's and cried it out with her because she obviously gets family drama. But that was my week. I did fly back on Monday. I FaceTimed the kids more than like I even marked. I called Joe more than I even marked, I'm sure. I was afraid that my flight would be delayed on Monday because of the heat. I literally left Minnesota in a heat advisory, left Syracuse in a heat advisory. So, but everything was on time. Everything was fine. Got Raising Cane's when I came back here. So, overall, it was great. It seems like it didn't even happen. I've also been extremely exhausted since then. Today, in real time, is my first day off since, I mean, like, technically I've had days off. I literally worked on my shop shit today. Like, I did orders today. But, like, it's the first day that I, like, got to choose what I wanted to do versus having to do something. So, love that for me. Not really. I'm exhausted. I have to work tomorrow on both my shop and Buffalo Wild Wings, but yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my rambling. I guess I really did not need my hobo over here because I pretty much covered everything, but I'm gonna throw out my planner and then I'll be right back. Here it is in the planner. I will say I did not have too much of a struggle figuring out like boxes and stuff. I didn't have to pull anything in. However, I did struggle with like getting certain things pulled off. Like that's missing the whole bottom here because it wasn't cut through. And then like the boxes, I don't know if you can tell, but it's torn to shreds because they weren't cut through. Same thing with this. But all in all, I got it to work, especially it being a mini kit. I think that she includes enough in a mini kit to do a full spread. Obviously, I still have some little things left. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching if you did. And my next plan with me will be in, I guess, like 3 weeks from today. Yeah, in 3 weeks, because it'll be for the 7th through the 13th of July, which is my twin's birthday week. And then the next one after that will be for the 21st through the 27th, because that is Declan's birthday week. So, yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.